ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदताम् ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नोऽस्तु। आप सभी का स्वागत है आज के इस
We welcome all of you to today's class. We are studying Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, verse number 9.
तो पिछले प्रवचन में हमने सुना,
In the previous class we heard
कहते हैं कि कर्म
that Bhagavan speaks that performing karma
आवश्यक है,
is essential.
प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को नियत रूप से कर्म करना चाहिए।
Every person should perform his prescribed duty.
करने से श्रेष्ठ है, क्योंकि अगर कर्म नहीं करेंगे तो हमारे जीवन की यात्रा भी
If we do not perform karma, we cannot even sustain our livelihood.
ये भगवान का एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण निर्देश
This is a very important instruction or teaching by Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita for us, for society, for entire humanity, that karma should be performed and it should be niyata. Niyata means which is
जो शास्त्र
prescribed
के द्वारा जिसका विधान
according to
किया गया है।
Shastra.
इसका मतलब हम ऐसा कर्म ना करें
It means we
जो
should not perform such karma
हमारे लिए
which
स्वयं के लिए
is
हानिकारक हो, समाज के लिए
destructive for
हानिकारक
us,
हो,
for
हमारे
society,
वातावरण के लिए
for the
हानिकारक हो।
environment,
क्योंकि शास्त्र जो हमको उपदेश देता
because
है
the
वो हमारी
teachings
दैनिक
imparted by
उपयोगिता के
Shastra
लिए ही देता है,
are for our own benefit.
और उसमें केवल एक व्यक्ति का ही कल्याण या एक किसी समाज विशेष का ही कल्याण नहीं है, लेकिन
The
पूरी
teachings of
सृष्टि
Shastra
का
are beneficial not
कल्याण
just to one section of society, but for the entire humanity,
निहित है। और
for
यही शास्त्र
entire
का
nature.
उपदेश है और यही शास्त्र का महत्व
This
है
is the
कि
importance of Shastra,
क्योंकि हम जब पैदा
because
होते हैं तो
when we are born,
अज्ञान में ही पैदा होते
we
हैं,
are born with
हमें नहीं पता है
ignorance.
कि संसार में हमको कैसे रहना है,
We do not know how
इसलिए
to
हम अपनी
live in
बुद्धि
this
से इसको
world,
नहीं समझ सकते हैं।
and we cannot understand this by our
किसी
own
भी
intelligence.
व्यक्ति में इतनी बुद्धि नहीं है
And no
कि वो
person
इस
has
संसार को समझ
so
सके
much intelligence so
और इस
as to
संसार में रह
understand
सके।
this world and to understand how to
इसलिए
live in this world,
हमको किस प्रकार से व्यवहार करना है तो ये
how to
हमको
deal
पता
in
नहीं
this world.
चल सकता है अपने आप से,
We cannot understand this on our
क्योंकि
own
हमारी बुद्धि बहुत सीमित है।
because our intelligence is very limited.
इसलिए भगवान
That is why
स्वयं हमको इसका
Bhagavan
उपदेश देते हैं
himself teaches
कि आप
us
किस तरह से
that
अपना जीवन जिए।
how we should live.
तो उसमें क्योंकि हमारे अंदर कर्मेंद्रियां हैं और
So
ज्ञानेंद्रियां
because
हैं,
we have the senses to
तो हम
perform
कर्म
action
करेंगे
and to acquire knowledge,
और हमको ज्ञान
so
प्राप्त होगा।
if we perform
आप यहाँ
karma
बैठे हुए
and
हैं
we
तो
get
तभी तो आप
knowledge, like if you are
ज्ञान
sitting
स्वरूप को
here,
प्राप्त कर ही रहे हैं,
so
तो आपके अंदर
you are
ज्ञान
getting
है।
something through your
तो
senses.
उसके
It is
लिए
going inside you,
कुछ प्रतिक्रिया होगी
and then there
कि
will be
कैसे
some
करना है कैसे
reaction.
नहीं करना है, किस तरह से हमको अपना
So what
जीवन
to do,
जीना है, तो ये सब
what not to
शास्त्र हमको
do,
सिखाता है।
how to utilize our senses,
लेकिन
all this
बहुत
is
कठिन
taught to
है
us by Shastra.
और
And
इसको
this is not
समझना
very
बहुत कठिन
difficult,
है।
and it is for
प्रायः
our own
लोग
benefit.
आजकल यही कहते हैं कि हम शास्त्र का श्रवण
Nowadays,
क्यों माने।
people say that why should we listen to
बहुत
Shastra?
सामान्य प्रश्न लोगों के मन
This is
में
a
आता
very
है कि
common
हम क्यों
question
माने शास्त्र की बात को,
arising in people's
शास्त्र की
minds
बात
that why
मानने से
should
हमें क्या
we
लाभ होगा,
hear Shastra? What is the
मोक्ष मिलेगा
benefit
क्या।
that we will derive by
लेकिन
following
वास्तविकता ऐसा
Shastra?
है नहीं,
Because we are
इसलिए हम हमेशा
independent.
अज्ञान में पैदा होते
But
हैं
that is not the truth. As I
और
said, we are
इसलिए
born in
इसका
ignorance,
महत्व
and out of ignorance, we can speak anything, but that does
और
not
हम
mean it becomes the
यदि
reality.
थोड़े शांत मन से
If with a calm mind
विचार
we
इसके ध्यान से
analyze
विचार करें तो हमको पता चलेगा कि
with our
वास्तविकता इसमें हम
intelligence,
नहीं हैं।
then we will understand that we are actually
इसलिए
not
यदि कहना
independent.
है कि हम
As I have told
शास्त्र
earlier
के द्वारा ही
also,
जीवित हैं,
that we are
तो अगर हमको
uh,
सांस ही नहीं आएगा तो
we
हमको
depend on
स्वतंत्रता
breath.
कहाँ
If
रहेगी,
we do not get
और इस
breath,
शरीर के ऊपर हमारा
then
क्या
how can
अधिकार है।
we say we are
तो
independent?
इसलिए जो लोग इस
What
प्रकार
control do we
सोचते
have
हैं
on
वो
our
केवल
body?
अज्ञान में ही
So
सोचते
those
हैं।
who think like this, they actually are in ignorance.
और फिर जब लोग आध्यात्मिक मार्ग में आते हैं
When people come to the
तो वो भी
spiritual
ठीक से
path,
समझते नहीं है
then that they don't understand the
शास्त्र
spiritual
को,
path also properly.
क्योंकि हमारे
Even
अंदर
then they do
शुरू
not
से ही ये
understand clearly that
है
we are not
कि
independent,
हम
because we have
आध्यात्मिक
this inborn nature that
होना है,
we want to
इसलिए
live in
हमको किसी से
happiness.
सीखना नहीं
We do
पड़ता,
not want suffering. We do not
स्वभाव
have to learn this from
कि हमारी
anybody.
जो आत्मा है वो
It is
दुख
our
स्वभाव की
nature,
है।
because Atma is in Dukkha
मोक्ष
Bhav.
मतलब दुखा भावी होता है।
Moksha means Dukkha Bhav.
न्याय में इसका बहुत विस्तार से प्रतिपादन है।
This is explained in
तो
detail in Nyaya.
इसलिए हम दुख नहीं चाहते हैं,
That is
हम
why
सुख
we do
चाहते हैं।
not want Dukkha. We do not want
और जब
suffering. We
ऐसा
want
करते
Sukha,
हैं जब हमको
happiness.
कुछ कर्म करना पड़ता है और विशेष तौर से
When we
हमारी
have to
आज्ञा के
perform
विरुद्ध
any
कुछ करना
karma,
पड़ता है तो
and
हमको बहुत
especially
कष्ट
that
होता है।
goes against our own nature
तो
or
हम चाहते
desire,
हैं कि हम
then
करें
it is very painful
लेकिन
for
किसी
us.
के दबाव में आके काम ना करें।
So we want to work, but we do not want to
इसलिए
work
हर
under
एक व्यक्ति चाहता है कि मेरे
any
पास बहुत पैसा
authority.
हो, धन हो,
That's
पद
why
हो,
everybody
लेकिन मैं
wants so
किसी का
much
ना करूं।
wealth, position,
लेकिन
power, so
जितना
that he
भी अच्छा काम ना
does
करें,
not have to work under
लेकिन
somebody.
आपके मन को
Even if you do
हमेशा
not
अच्छा
work
करना
under
है,
somebody, at
समाज
least
के
you will
हित में
work
करना
under
है।
your own mind, and your own mind, if it is
इसलिए
not
कहते हैं
under
कि
your control.
कर्मेंद्रियाणि संयम ये आस्ते मनसा स्मरण। और जो पहले भी पिछले श्लोक में कहा यस्तु इंद्रियाणि मनुष्य नियम में आरभते अर्जुन कर्मेंद्रिय कर्मयोगम असक्तः स विशिष्यते। तो हमको
So Bhagavan
अपने
explained
कर्मेंद्रिय
these
ज्ञानेंद्रियों को
verses earlier
नियंत्रण में रखना है, अपने
that
मन को
we have to keep
अपने
our
नियंत्रण
senses under our control, mind under our control. If it is not under our control, then actually we are not independent. So that time also we are performing action, but we think that we are independent, although we are not independent. That is why when we anyway have to perform action, whether it is under somebody else or under our own senses, then why not do it in such a way that we derive benefit? Human being does not know himself that what will be the result of performing karma. That can be told only by somebody who understands this nature properly. When we consume food, when we eat food, we do not know what action effect that food will have inside the body. The same food can nourish somebody's body, it can also lead to disease in somebody else's body. So Shastra gives us a particular vision that this is how we should perform action so that we can get permanent happiness, because everybody wants happiness permanently. So if you want that permanent happiness, it is only possible by following Shastra. That is what Bhagavan is teaching. And this is the experience of wise people. And actually, as I said, that if we think peacefully, we will ourselves also understand that what is being spoken here is true. Because in our own life, we have done so many things in with independent mentality, and if we analyze what was the result of that, we will see that we did not achieve the desired result. So we act with independent mindset, but we do not achieve the desired result. Rather, we get dejection and depression. So Shastra is teaching that how you should perform action so that you achieve happiness, peace. But actually, we should not have that desire for that type of fruit also, because when you get into bound by that desire, then again you try to find out shortcuts for getting happiness. So for that only Bhagavan is teaching again and again here. So what he is explaining in today's verse, the verse number 9, is very important. It is very important. It appears very simple and it seems as if this is some old-fashioned point. But if you understand the science behind it, then this truth is very scientific and it is very beneficial for everyone.
तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संगः समाचर। भगवान विष्णु को अर्पित होने वाले
Translation: all endeavors other than those that are performed as an offering to Vishnu are the source of bondage in this world. Therefore, O Kaunteya Arjun, perform your duty efficiently for the sake of Vishnu alone, remaining unattached to the fruits of action. So this is the secret, this is the formula, the art of living. Bhagavan is teaching how not just a particular human being but entire society. Nowadays, the governments that we have, they should also understand this, because they are governing the country, they frame laws. So they should understand all this. Because government also wants that the country should progress. But if they do not know the formula, how to progress, then what happens is just governments keep changing every 4 or 5 years. So here Bhagavan is explaining that the karma that you perform, that karma will become the cause of bondage if you do not perform it as a yajna. This is the simple point. Although it is very simple, but it is very important. So how does karma bind us? Whatever karma you do, it will lead to a fruit. Like the laws of Newton, as Newton said that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Similarly, there Newton is talking of a simple action, but here karma is different from kriya. Here, karma means that which has a doer, and the doer is performing karma with the sense of doership. When we perform action with the sense of doership, then we get bound to that karma. This sense of doership is what binds us to the karma. And if we have attachment to the fruit, then it attaches us to the fruit also. And if we have attachment in the karma, it binds us to that also. So there are three types of attachment. One is to the sense of doership, one is to the karma itself, and one is to the fruit of the karma. So generally we have all the three attachments. But even if we have only one attachment out of these three, it will bind us to karma. This is the principle behind karma. Like there is law of gravity, that any if you throw anything upwards, it will come down because earth is attracting it. Similarly, this is a rule. Wherever you go in the earth, then wherever you go, there will be some gravity. Similarly, if you are on this earth, then the principle of karma will apply on you irrespective of whether you accept it or not. So if it anyway applies on us, it is better that we understand it. Just like the law of gravity applies on us, then we should understand that.
तो इसलिए भगवान यहाँ बताते हैं कि किस प्रकार से हम
So Bhagavan is explaining here how we can remain free from the bondage of karma even while performing karma. That means actually the problem is not in karma, but the problem lies in not performing the karma properly and investing the sense of doership in that and being attached to the karma. So if we can remove those attachments, then that same karma that we perform, it will give us happiness. It will become the cause of liberation, which everybody wants, that we should remain liberated. Independence is nothing but liberation. So simply by thinking you are liberated or independent, you will not become liberated. We have the energy to perform action. How we are utilizing that energy such that we perform action in such a way that we do not fall into bondage. For that, we have to understand that this material world, it is a whole unit. It is a complete unit. I am not the only member in this world. There are many other people also. And my karma affects them also, and their karma affects me also. Because it is not just my individual karma, there is a karma for the whole society, collective karma also for the society. So until and unless we all we do not perform karma for one common objective, then there will be chaos in society. Like suppose there is a uh, let's say you are sitting on a boat in a lake, and every person is rowing the boat according to his own mind in different direction. Then where will the boat go? You will not be able to reach your desired destination. Similarly, every person has his own vasanas, desires, and he wants to fulfill those desires. So one person's vasana is in opposition to the vasana of the other person. Then there will be conflict between both. There will be opposition. But if we all have one common objective, actually everybody has a common objective, that is to achieve Ananda. Ultimately, everybody has one objective only, how to live happily. So if our destination is common, same, then we should sit together and plan how to reach there. But if we start thinking that I should reach there and the other person should not reach there, or the other person also thinks that I should reach there, not the other one, then we will continue having conflicts and none of us will be able to reach our destination. So this is the situation of society today. The countries which are engaging in war with each other, families fighting against each other, everywhere there is conflict. Why is it like that? Because two people do not want to work together. And why is that? Because everybody has a different objective, although ultimate objective is same only for everybody, but the processes for achieving that objective are different for everyone. This is where conflict arises. But if we understand that we all have to achieve that same destination, and then how to reach that, Bhagavan is recommending here.
लोकोयम कर्म बंधन। तो अगर आप यज्ञ के लिए कार्य करते हैं,
If you are performing action for karma, you will not fall into bondage, which means you will not suffer.
और वो यज्ञ क्या है?
And what is that yajna?
ऐसा कार्य करना
That yajna is such action which leads to your progress also, it leads to progress of society also, and it does not pollute the environment also. This is called yajna. Yajna word comes from the dhatu yaj, and yaj dhatu has three meanings. One is deva puja, second is sangati karan, and third is dan.
तीन अर्थ यज धातु के
Yaj dhatu has
अगर पढ़े तो आप
these three meanings in dhatu part.
तो सबसे पहले देव पूजा।
So first is dev puja,
ये जो विश्व
that
है, ये जो
this
संसार है,
world,
ये ऐसा नहीं है कि अपने आप कहीं से
it
आया
is not such that it has come up automatically. Somebody has
इसके कुछ
designed it,
देवता हैं,
and there are some deities in this material world.
तो सरकार में
Like you have government, so in government there are some ministers.
बिजली का विभाग अलग है,
There is a department for electricity, for water,
सिक्योरिटी का अलग
security,
है, शिक्षा का अलग है,
education.
के सबके अपने अपने विभाग हैं।
So these are different divisions and they have their own respective ministers. So if I want electricity, then at the end of the month I have to pay the electricity bill. If I do not pay the bill, then my connection will be disconnected. I am using water, so I have to pay tax for that. I am living in home, so I have to pay the property tax. I have to pay tax for municipality because they are collecting the garbage.
एक तंत्र है,
So this whole system which has been designed in the government,
देना पड़ेगा ना।
so we have to give something.
यज्ञ का मतलब होता है लेना और देना।
So yajna means give and take.
मैं कुछ दूं।
Dev puja means I give something. And then there is dan
पूजा संगति
or charity.
दानेषु, तीन अर्थ में यज्ञ शब्द का प्रयोग।
These are the three meanings for of the word yajna. So if I am taking something, I have to also give something. If I am living in society
कुछ सुविधाएं दे रहा है,
and society is giving me some benefit, then it is my duty also
लेकिन आज क्या हो गया कि समाज
to do something. But now what has happened in the society, everybody is fighting for his right.
लेकिन अधिकार के साथ में कर्तव्य भी आता है।
But along with rights, there are responsibilities also.
जब भी
Why do you have right?
अधिकार की बात
Whenever you speak of adhikar, along with adhikar or rights, there are responsibilities or duties also. Wherever you get some rights, you also have some responsibilities attached to that.
जैसे हमको ये सब टैक्स देने पड़ते हैं,
So just like we have to give all these tax, similarly in this world, we are using air.
अगर हमारा जीवन नहीं
We cannot sustain our life without air. So it is our duty that we keep this air pure.
और भगवान ने ये सृष्टि यज्ञ रूप में ही बनाई।
Bhagavan has created this world in the form of a yajna.
भागवत में कथा सुनी है कि
In Bhagavatam, you have heard this pastime that when Brahmaji made this creation, he gave birth to Manu. From Manu, we have man.
मनु और शत्रुपा,
So Manu and Shatarupa, these two, from their
रहने के लिए स्थान दीजिए, तो
Manu said that I want place to live.
वो जब आए
So Brahmaji said that you go to earth.
हुई है,
And when Manu came, he saw that the earth was submerged in water. So it is told in the form of a story that even science accepts that earth has been generated from water.
उनके नाक से निकले।
So then from Brahmaji's nose, Bhagavan Varahadev appeared.
स्वरूप बोला जाता है। अगर आप
Bhagavan Varaha is known as Yajna Swarup. The Swarup of Varaha is Yajna Swarup. That is why it is said Yajna Vai Vishnu. Yajna is also the name of Bhagavan Vishnu.
पृथ्वी जो है
That means
वो यज्ञ के
this
रूप में आई।
earth has appeared as a yajna.
देखेंगे कि संसार
So here you will see in this world
बैलेंस करते हैं।
everything is self-balancing.
पेड़ पौधे आवश्यक हैं क्योंकि वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को लेकर
Trees
ऑक्सीजन
and plants are needed because they take carbon dioxide, they give oxygen. We need oxygen, we take oxygen and we give carbon dioxide.
हम ऑक्सीजन
So this give and take happens. So we are taking oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide. Plants are consuming carbon dioxide, they are giving out oxygen. So this is a yajna of Prakriti that is going on. But if we break this yajna of Prakriti, that means
दूषित चीजें पैदा करने लगे
we give rise to some polluted substances.
बिगड़ जाएगी।
polluting substances, then the whole system will become distorted. So now we ride in we cars, all we use petrol, gas, all these we if then there will be global warming. Then there will be problems. So why is this happening? Because the cycle that exists in this nature, later Bhagavan will say
कि मैंने एक ये चक्र स्थापित कर दिया है
that I have made the cycle in this world. So yajna is what something that balances that chakra. That how in our society balance can be maintained, equilibrium can be maintained. So human being is that only human being is that entity which destroys this nature. No animal, birds, trees, though they don't destroy this nature. The human being is the only and the most dangerous creature in this planet. Everybody is threatened by human being. Elephant is so strong. Elephant is so strong. Lions are so strong, but human being can and put them also in cage. If you go to circus, you will see the lion also dances, elephant also dances, although they are so strong. So this is human being. Human being will go anywhere. Human being can catch any other creature because human being has intelligence, tongue, the faculty of speech and hands. Now these are very dangerous, although they can be used beneficially also. So these are given for human beings because only human being needs them. Animals don't destroy this nature. So that is why Bhagavan is giving knowledge to human being only. That you should maintain the equilibrium in this nature. You are consuming food, so don't produce garbage. So earlier we have seen in the village life, there was no system of any garbage. There was the thing called plastic in our childhood. Whatever was produced on the fields, and we used to bring them to home. And all the peels of the vegetables, etc., were collected separately and they were used as compost. So we never saw anything called garbage. And that's why never needed any municipality for that. There was no need of any garbage dumping on anything. Now there is so much problem. You have to collect garbage, you have to recycle the garbage. Earlier there was no such problems.
क्योंकि आजकल जो हमारा विज्ञान और हमारी जो तकनीकी जो टेक्नोलॉजी जो नई नई जो अन्वेषण करते हैं तो वो उसका
So
केवल
the
लाभ
problem is those who are inventing new things today, they are only seeing the benefits, the positive side of that, but they do not pay attention to the side effects that their inventions will lead to. Like in modern medicine, those who are inventing or discovering new medicines, they just see what benefit it will give, but what side effect it will have, they don't see that. This is the biggest problem in modern science. Then after 10 years, you understand that this medicine actually leads to cancer, then you have to ban that medicine, then you have to do another research. Then whatever medicines were made, then you sell it for cheap in third world countries. So many medicines are there in India which are actually banned in Europe, but they are continuing in India. And people keep consuming them, they will die. So in our society, we have these type of problems because we do not understand this simple point. That's why Bhagavan already gave us Ayurveda, which is the medical science, which has no such problems as in modern science. But we are destroying that. Ayurveda contains everything. They had surgery also in Sushruta Samhita, plastic surgery also. 32 types of instruments are there in Sushruta Samhita. They are described there for surgery. I had myself experienced that. There was one sadhu in Vrindavan. I went to him. He just pressed, he just put his hand these two sides, and I was immediately unconscious in 1 second. So when I woke up, he again did that, and again I fell unconscious. So he showed me two times. There was no need of any chemical for anesthesia. He just did it immediately.
कोई खर्च नहीं, कोई पैसा नहीं। तो ऐसे ऐसे सब जो
No
ज्ञान था,
expenditure.
जो
So we
अभी
had
हमारे
these
है,
types of signs
वो सब
earlier,
चीज तो पुस्तक में लिखी हुई
which
नहीं है।
have been lost
अब मैं
because
इसको
everything is not written in the
समझ
book.
कर बोलूं तो ये सब तो
If
सब
I
हमारे
am
अंदर में है, तो सब
reading
हमारा
this
हर
verse and speaking for 1 hour, it is all based in the verse
साधारण
only.
व्यक्ति इसको नहीं समझ सकता।
But just by reading the verse, you cannot understand everything. That is why we need knowledge from
यज्ञ कर
parampara.
रहे हैं, यज्ञ
So
कर
here
रहे हैं,
Bhagavan is giving the
तो
formula.
कितना साधारण एक लाइन है, लेकिन कितनी
It's such
महत्वपूर्ण
a
है।
simple statement, but it is so important.
और ये अगर हमारा समाज, हमारी सरकार इसको
And if
समझ ले,
our society, our government can understand this, then all problems will be solved.
इसलिए भगवान कहते हैं कि तदर्थम कर्म
That's why Bhagavan says
संघ समाचार, इसलिए उसके लिए काम कीजिए, यज्ञ के लिए
that
काम कीजिए।
you should perform your duty for
को
yajna.
बनाया ही इसलिए कि आपकी
Bhagavan has made yajna for this purpose only, so that all your desires get fulfilled.
वो आपको भौतिक
Whatever you
दोनों मिले,
desire, you get
आज का जो
both
समाज है वो
material and
भौतिक
spiritual
इच्छाओं
benefit.
को पूरी करता है,
Today's society only cares for material benefit,
उसमें
and
ज्यादा
that too not
सोचता है,
nicely.
फिर
It is
ऐसे
full of
अनेकों
competition.
लोगों को इकट्ठा करके
One person collects so many other people and
जो
then tries
शक्तिशाली
to
होते हैं
exploit them. He becomes powerful and he makes
आज की जितनी
laws.
भी सरकारें हैं वो सब
All
पैसे
the
वालों की
governments
होती
today, they are being run only by rich
हैं,
people,
कानून फिर ऐसे बनवाएंगे ताकि उनको लाभ हो,
and they make
समाज को
laws
लाभ
in
ना
such
हो।
a way so that only
एलन
society is
मस्क जो है, जो
only they are
सैटेलाइट
benefited.
सैटेलाइट्स
Like
भेजना चाहता है
Elon Musk wants to launch
हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर में,
thousands of satellites
लगाइए वो
in
40,000
in the atmosphere,
सैटेलाइट्स
40,000 satellites in the atmosphere. Imagine how much pollution will
उसका
be there by those
क्या
satellites,
फर्क पड़ेगा हमारे वातावरण पर, इसको तो कोई
and
ख्याल
what will
नहीं
be
है।
the impact on the
ये
environment.
सोचता है
Nobody
कि
knows
वो पैसे
this.
की सोचता है, और फिर इससे जो सूक्ष्म स्तर पर कितना प्रभाव पड़ेगा, जो
And at subtle
देवता हैं
level, how
उनके
much
ऊपर
effect
क्या
will
असर
be
पड़ेगा,
there
प्रकृति के ऊपर क्या
on the
असर पड़ेगा,
devatas, on
ये
the
सबका नहीं
material
पता,
nature. This
असर
is
होगा
what
तो
he
सही
doesn't
होगा,
know, but there will be
नहीं तो
impact.
पता भी नहीं चलेगी।
And
इससे
people
अनेक
will not
बीमारियां
even
पैदा होंगी,
understand that
किसी
it
को
will give
पता
rise
नहीं
to
है
so many
कि कैसे
diseases.
आया, क्यों आया।
Now there was COVID. Till today, nobody actually knows why there was COVID. There will be
मानसिक
mental
स्तर पर जो बीमार
diseases,
होते हैं उनका पता नहीं चलता हमें,
psychological problems. We won't
बड़ा
understand that.
डिस्ट्रेस्ड और
Today,
डिस्टर्ब
human being
रहते
is so
हैं,
much disturbed.
क्योंकि ये यज्ञ थे,
Why?
श्राद्ध थे,
Because this
इसके पीछे
yajna,
बहुत बड़ा विज्ञान
shraddha
है, लोग
karma,
जानते नहीं
there
है।
was a great science behind
तो
that. People do not
आज की
perform all
साइंस ये
that.
नहीं लगा सकते कि व्यक्ति
So
इतना
modern
चिंतित
science
क्यों है, इतना
cannot
हाइपर एक्टिव
understand
क्यों है,
that. Why human being is so
उसका मन जो है
depressed,
इतना अस्थिर क्यों है,
lacks
ये मनुष्य नहीं
fulfillment,
लगा
so
सकता।
much hyperactive. Why his mind is
तो
so
इसलिए
disturbed?
यज्ञार्थम
Modern science cannot understand that.
लोकोयम कर्म बंधन। तो अब यज्ञ के लिए तो कोई कार्य कर नहीं रहा है, तो इसलिए
So
बंधन,
nobody is doing anything for yajna.
इसलिए सब
So
दुखी,
there is
व्यापारी भी
bondage.
दुखी,
Bondage means
गरीब जिसके
suffering.
पास में नहीं है वो भी दुखी,
The wealthy person is also suffering. The poor person is also
जैसा
suffering.
हम जानते हैं कि शारीरिक दुख ही नहीं है, मानसिक दुख,
So suffering does not
तो
mean
मानसिक स्तर
only
पर बहुत ज्यादा
physical
दुख है।
suffering, but at
किसी
mental
भी
level
समय
also.
कहीं भी चले जाओ आप,
Wherever you go,
और उसका यही मूल कारण है।
this is the main reason
अब
for
अगर
that.
इसको थोड़ा और गहराई से समझें,
Now,
इसका
if
दूसरा
we
छोटा अर्थ बताया है,
understand this more
तो एक हो
deeply,
गया संगतिकरण, तीसरा जो अर्थ है संगतिकरण मतलब समाज को
the other
एकत्रित करना,
meaning is
कैसे
Sangati means to
एक
collect
साथ लाना।
people together,
आज समाज
how
में
to live
संगतिकरण
together.
नहीं, असंगतिकरण है,
Today in society, there is no Sangati
एकता
it is
नहीं
all
है,
Asangati. Everybody is breaking up. There is
एकता
no
नहीं है।
unity. There is
पड़ोसी
no
पड़ोसी को नहीं
unity in
जानता
a
है,
family also. One neighbor does
संबंध
not
ही
know the
नहीं है
other
किसी
one.
भी।
There is no unity
इसलिए
anywhere.
पहले जैसे यज्ञ होता था, जैसे
So
अभी
earlier, like there was
भारत
Yagya, when
वर्ष
you
में
hear
जो
Bhagavatam, where
शौनकादि
was
ऋषि थे वो
Bhagavatam
यज्ञ
told?
कर रहे थे,
In,
नैमिषारण्यक
in
ऋषि,
Naimisharanya,
शौनकादि आदि,
Shaunak and other rishis, they were collectively
स्वर्ग
performing Yagya.
स्वर्गाय सत्रम आशा थे, उन्होंने वो यज्ञ कर रहे थे, वहीं पर तो उन्होंने कथा सुनी। तो पहले इस प्रकार
There
के
they
बड़े बड़े
heard the
यज्ञ होते
katha.
थे, लोग
So
अपने
earlier
अपने
there used to be
अपने
such big yagyas.
अपनी
People used
कथाएं
to come and
चर्चाएं
sit
सुनते थे,
together, and there used to be kathas and
तो इससे दो लाभ
discussions.
भी मिलता है।
So this is
पहले
the
जब भी यज्ञ होता
also
था
benefit of yagya.
एक तो ये है कि जो है अग्निहोत्र इत्यादि जो लोग अपने
One is the Agnihotra, etc.
नित्य
What
कर्म है वो करते थे,
Nitya Karma
तो
that
ये
people
यज्ञ तो
do
उसमें सब
in their
लोग
home. But in the big yagyas, all the people
ये
used to
संगतिकरण है,
collect
और ऊपर से
together.
दान,
So this is
सबको
Sangati.
दान दिया जाता
And
था,
then there was Dan or
आपस में
charity.
सौहार्द
everybody was given food, so people were living together. There was no envy or jealousy.
और वहां बैठकर फिर ये विचार किया जाता था
And
कि
then
समाज
there
में
was
कोई
deliberation
समस्या है तो उसको कैसे दूर किया जाए।
that if there is a problem in
शौनक ऋषि ने तो
society,
यही प्रश्न
how
पूछा
we should get rid of that. This is what Shaunak Rishi was also asking
हमको वो
from Suta
शास्त्र का सार
Goswami,
बताइए जिससे
that please tell us the essence of
सबका
Shastra
कल्याण हो।
so that
परीक्षित ने भी यही
there may
प्रश्न
be
पूछा
benefit to entire
कि
humanity.
मुमुक्षु व्यक्ति का क्या
This
कार्य
is
है।
what Parikshit also
तो
asked,
इस प्रकार की
that
चर्चा
what is the duty of a person who is
पूर्व
dying.
में बड़े बड़े
So
विद्वान
this
हुआ
used to
करते
be
थे
discussed there, because there in the yagyas very intelligent people used to
यज्ञ
assemble,
का मतलब होता है
and the next
देवता उद्देश्य है ना
meaning of yagya is dana.
कि देवता के उद्देश्य से द्रव्य का त्याग
For
करना।
the purpose of devata
तो देवता
to
क्या
do
करते
tyaga
हैं
of dravya,
दूसरे
to give
लोगों
up
को
dravya,
प्रसाद
that is
देते
dana.
हैं।
So when we give dana, others get prasad.
संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्व किल विषय यज्ञ से जो बचा हुआ अवशेष रहता है उसको अमृत बोलते हैं।
The remainder of yagya is known as amrita.
जाता है
So that is distributed in the public.
यज्ञ का। और ये यज्ञ मैं केवल जो भौतिक यज्ञ है उसकी बात कर रहा
And I
हूँ।
am just talking of the material yagya
बाद
here.
बात
In
आएगी
Gita, there is discussion of many types of yagyas.
आहुति प्रक्षिप्त करते हैं ये
Just the
यज्ञ है।
yagya,
यहाँ तो
the
केवल
offering that we
प्राणायाम
make in fire, only that is not
तक
yagya.
यज्ञ है।
Here, pranayam is also
ध्यान
yagya, adhyayan is also yagya, dan, tapasya, these are all yagya.
क्योंकि यज्ञ का जो विस्तृत अर्थ है वो है कि
Because
शास्त्र के
the
अनुसार कुछ चीजें
expanded meaning of yagya,
केवल
the
यज्ञ
complete
के द्वारा
meaning
किया
is
जाना किसी भी
that
वस्तु
we
को
give something to this world, so that
और
giving may
दूसरा जो
happen in any
अर्थ
way.
है वो है
And the
यज्ञ का
ultimate meaning
भगवान
of
विष्णु
yagya is Bhagavan Vishnu himself.
यज्ञो वही विष्णु। तो इसलिए जो इस श्लोक का मैंने अनुवाद
That
किया
is
है
why
यज्ञ में उसका
the
अर्थ विष्णु है
translation that I have done
कि हम
for
कोई भी
yagya
कार्य
here
करें
is Vishnu.
तो वो विष्णु को अर्पित करके करें।
So the point is, whatever action we perform it as an offering to Vishnu.
यज्जुहोसि ददासि यत् तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम्। आगे भी कहते हैं सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज। तो ये कहने का मतलब ये
So
है कि ये
this,
सृष्टि जो है
what
उसकी
Bhagavan is
पूरी
speaking here, the point is
भगवान
that Bhagavan is the center of this
जैसा
world.
मैंने कहा कि ये एक इकाई है इसलिए इसको
As
यूनिट
I
कहते हैं।
said, that this is a complete unit. It is called
तो ये
universe.
इकाई है
Uni means
इसका
one.
जो
It is
मूलभूत
one
तत्व
unit.
है इसके जो
And
आधार
the
है
center of
वो
this unit
भगवान
is
स्वयं है।
Bhagavan himself.
तो हर एक कार्य उन्हीं के लिए किया जाए
So
जैसे आप
every
कोई
action
संस्था
should
में
be
किसी
performed for
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में
him
किसी
only.
ऑफिस में काम
Like
करते
if you
हैं
are working in an
तो जो
office or any
सिस्टम होता है उसी
organization,
के लिए काम करते हैं ना।
so then you perform action for
तो
the
उसके लिए
owner
उसको
of that
उसको
company
प्रदर्शन
only.
करने में
And then
तो
in
ऐसे
return
ही
for that, he
भगवान
gives you some salary.
ये
Similarly, this whole world is a unit.
तो इस और उसके मालिक इसके सृष्टा
And the
इसके
owner, the
पालक
creator,
भगवान
the
विष्णु है।
maintainer of
तो
this world is Bhagavan Vishnu himself. So
जो
action
आप
should
कोई
be
भी कार्य कर
performed
रहे
for
हैं
him.
वो
So whatever
भगवान
action you
विष्णु के लिए कर रहे
perform,
हैं।
you should perform keeping Bhagavan Vishnu in the center. Then you will not fall into
एक
bondage.
तो ये है कि आप विहित कर्म करें
So one point is that
एक
you
ये है कि
perform
आप
your
अपने कर्म
prescribed duty,
क्योंकि
and
हम
the other
भौतिक
point is
कर्म
that
करते हैं
whatever duty you
भौतिक करते
perform,
हैं और
because we perform
कुछ
worldly
आध्यात्मिक
actions
कार्य करते
and we perform some
हैं।
religious
जैसे कोई
actions
बिजनेस कर रहा
also.
है कोई बिजनेस
Like if
करता है वो
somebody is
आध्यात्मिक
doing
काम
business
करता
or
है। तो
agriculture,
ये तो लौकिक क्रियाएं हैं
so these are
लेकिन
worldly
इनको यज्ञ
actions.
बनाया जाए
So how to convert them also
तो
into
इसके पीछे
yajna?
भी हमारी भावना ये होनी
That
चाहिए
behind this also
कि
our
मैं भगवान
bhava
के लिए
mentality should be that I do this for
यत्
Bhagavan.
करोति सकलम नारायण इति समर्पयेत तत्। तो हम जो भी करें
That whatever we
वो
do,
भगवान नारायण के
we
लिए
do it
अर्पित
as
करना
an
चाहिए।
offering to Bhagavan Narayan.
अगर आप थोड़ा गहरी दृष्टि से देखें जैसे जीव गोस्वामी जी ने अपना विश्लेषण किया
If you
अद्वैत
think
संदर्भ में
deeply,
भक्ति संदर्भ में
like Jiva Goswami, he analyzed in
समस्या का मूल कारण
Sandarbha,
क्या है
he says that what is the
मूल
fundamental
कारण है
problem that we have?
वैमुख्यता
The problem
कि
is
हम भगवान से विमुख
Vaimukhyata,
हो गए
that we are Vimukha from Bhagavan.
यानी कि हम अपने आप को स्वतंत्र समझ रहे हैं
That means we are
तो इसके लिए
considering
क्या
ourselves
समाधान है
independent.
सामुख्यता।
So what is the solution for
तो
that?
जैसे इस
That
प्रकार
is
से
Samukhyata.
के पिताजी हैं
So it is
और
like
वो
if
बहुत
you have, let's say, your father is a very rich person, very
और
influential
आप उसके
person,
पुत्र हैं या पुत्री हैं
and you are his
और वो
son
आपकी
or daughter,
जितनी भी आपकी आवश्यकता है वो सबकी पूर्ति करते हैं आपको
and
सब
he
कुछ जो
fulfills
आपको
all
चाहिए
your
रहने खाने
needs.
पीने
whatever you need for living, he gives you
ये
everything.
स्वाभाविक है कि हम जो भी कुछ करें वो उनसे पूछ के
So
करें,
it is natural that whatever we do
लेकिन
under
हम ये
being
कह देते हैं
being
कि वो
out
नहीं
of
है,
obedience to
वो
him.
कुछ नहीं
But
करता,
if we say that no, there is I don't have any
मैं
father,
तो
he
सोता रहता
doesn't
हूँ,
do anything for
तो फिर
me,
वो भी वो आपको सब कुछ
I
देता
am
है,
independent, and still he
लेकिन आप
continues
कहीं
to
भी
give everything to
इस
you.
बात को मानते भी नहीं है कि आपके पिता ने
Meaning
सब कुछ
that
किया
you
है,
don't even accept that your father is
लेकिन
doing
वो आपको
everything for
देता है
you,
कि फिर भी
but
सब
he
कुछ
is so
आपके लिए है,
generous that still he keeps
तो इसे
giving
कहते
everything
हैं
to you.
वैमुख्यता।
So then, if this type of mentality
आपको
that you
पता है
have, this is called
कि
Vaimukhyata.
पिताजी को तो कुछ हानि होने वाली नहीं है,
So this is a loss for you only. Your
सब
father
कुछ
will not
बहुत
suffer any loss
शक्तिशाली है,
because he is influential, he is rich.
लेकिन आपको ही हो
What
सकता
will
है
be his loss? Loss will be to you only.
नीचे जो कार्य करते हैं, कुछ
Those
मैनेजर
who are
कुछ
working under
काम
him, the
करने वाले वो
managers,
कहते
let's
हैं
say,
कि
they
ये
don't
नहीं
like
सुनता है
you.
तो हम क्यों इसकी
They
सेवा
say
करें,
that when he
तो
doesn't
आप
listen
उनकी
to
सेवा
his
करें।
father only, why should we
तो इस
take care
प्रकार
of him?
संसार है,
So they may trouble you.
भगवान
So
कहते हैं कि
similarly,
मैं
this
सबका
world is
करता हूँ,
there. Bhagavan says
भगवान कहते हैं कि मैं सबका माँ
that
है, बाप
I
है,
am everybody's mother, father,
और उनके नीचे देवता लोग काम करते हैं।
and under Bhagavan there are the devatas who are governing
तो
the
ये आज
this
कलयुग
world.
के लोग ये कहते हैं,
So if you say that, like nowadays people say there is no
तो
God,
क्या देवता लोग जो है आपकी
then
सामग्री काटना चालू कर देंगे,
the devatas they will start cutting
बड़े जो
whatever
बड़े
from
ऑफिसर्स
where
हैं
whatever they are
उसके
supplying
नीचे
to you,
जाति हैं जो काम करते हैं,
because the top boss he doesn't do
तो ये
everything.
वास्तविकता
There
है
are people under him who are doing different
कि उसके
things.
नीचे
So this is the
जो
reality.
देवता लोग कार्य करते हैं
The devatas who
वो
are
आपको
doing
सामग्री
the
देना बंद
various
कर
things
देंगे,
under Bhagavan, they will stop
भगवान
supplying
नहीं
your
कहते हैं इसके
needs.
लिए, लेकिन उसके
Bhagavan
नीचे
is
जो
not
कार्य
telling them
करते
to
हैं
do this, but the
वो
devatas they
आपकी
will keep
समस्याओं का
placing
समाधान
obstacles in
करते
your
हैं।
life. So then you will
तो
have
ये
trouble.
स्थिति आज की है,
So this is the situation
और जब
today.
हम सुनते हैं भागवत में, बात
Whatever,
करते हैं
like
कि
we
ये
hear in
लोग कहते हैं कि ये
Bhagavatam,
केवल कहानियां
many
सुन रहे
people
हैं,
say that these are
जो
simply
महाराज हैं
stories.
या जो बड़े
But if
बड़े
you
हैं
hear about
उनके बारे
Yudhishthir
में
and the great kings,
वर्णन आता है कि
then
बहुत
in their kingdom it is
समृद्धशाली थे,
described that they were very
उनको किसी
rich,
चीज की कोई कमी नहीं थी,
wealthy, very influential
क्यों?
kings.
क्योंकि प्रकृति प्रसन्न थी,
They did not have
ये
lack of
प्रकृति
any
जो है ये
necessity
जैसा हम
because
समझते हैं
this material nature is not
जड़ समझता
inert
है,
like
इसलिए
what we
उसको नहीं
think.
मानता है,
Today,
वो
material
उसको
science
केवल जड़
considers
समझता है,
this nature as jada, inert.
जिससे
That's why it
वो
just wants to keep it under control.
लेकिन हमारी जो भारतीय संस्कृति है
But the
वो
Indian
क्या
culture
समझती है
does not
कि
consider
इसको जड़
material
समझना
nature as
और
jada
इसको
inert.
पूजना
It
नहीं,
rather considers material
इसकी
nature as
आराधना करना,
worshipable, and we
और
worship
जब
this
हम उसकी
nature.
पूजा करेंगे तो वो
So
प्रसन्न
when
होती
you
है,
worship the
प्रीत
nature,
होती है,
then being
क्योंकि हमारी
pleased,
जो
nature
मूलभूत
supplies our
जरूरतें हैं वो
necessities to
प्रकृति
us
से ही आती हैं,
because our fundamental necessities has to be supplied
तो
from
इसको
nature
समझना है,
only.
लेकिन आपका जो
You
खाना
may
पीना
make
कपड़ा
so many things by technology,
ये तो
but the
प्रकृति से
basic
आता है,
necessities of your life will be supplied by nature only, not
इसको
material
प्रकृति मान
science.
लेती है,
So then
जैसा राजा
nature
जनक ने
starts
प्रकृति को मान
withholding,
लिया था,
giving the supplies,
प्रकृति ने
like it was
सारा दिया
explained in
सब
the
कुछ
story of King Vena,
संभाल लिया, तो फिर
that the material
क्या
nature
होता है
started taking everything
जनक
back.
महाराज का,
Then Bhagavan had to
उसको
appear as King
पूछते हैं
Prithu.
उनसे, तो ये कहानियां जो है वो हमें कुछ
So these pastimes which are
वास्तविक बातों
narrated,
को समझाती हैं, कहानी के
they
माध्यम
are
से
narrated in order
समझाती
to
हैं कि
teach
वास्तव में
teach the
संसार
tattva,
कैसा
the
चल रहा है,
philosophy to us, that how this
हमारा जो
world
मूल
operates.
कारण है हमारी समस्याओं का वो है कि हम
So the main
विमुख हैं,
reason for all our problems is that
और
we
इस
are
विमुखता के
we have
कारण
turned away from Bhagavan. We are vimukha.
तो ये यज्ञ जो है ये हमको
So
सामुख्य
this
बनाने
yajna,
के लिए,
it
हमको
brings
भगवान की तरफ
samukhyata. It turns us towards
बुलाता
Bhagavan.
है कि हम थोड़ा देना सीखें,
That we learn to give
जब हम
also.
थोड़ा यज्ञ करना भी चालू करेंगे तो थोड़ा देने की आदत पड़ेगी हमको,
If we
तो थोड़ा
start
हम
doing
परमात्मा को
yajna,
देना सीखें,
we will start
निस्वार्थ भाव
becoming
से
trained to
करना
give
सीखें,
also.
नहीं तो क्या होता है कि हम जो भी काम करते हैं उसमें केवल हमारा अपना
Otherwise,
स्वार्थ
what
दिखता है,
happens, whatever we do, in
हम ये
that
भी नहीं सोचते
there
कि
is
समाज में
selfishness for
क्या
us.
लाभ
What is
होगा
in it for
इस
me?
चीज से
We do
करने से,
not think
आज
that by
हमारी जो
doing this, what will
पुरानी
be the
सोच है
benefit or loss to society. This way of thinking
वो ऐसी है,
has been
अहम
lost.
विजय परो
Nobody thinks like this.
गणना लघु चेसना चेतसाम उदार चरिता नाम तो वसुधाएव कुटुंबकम, तो जो छोटी दृष्टि है वो ये सोचता है ये मेरा है, ये
So
उसका,
this
मैं
is
तो
narrow mentality that this is mine, this is
वो
of some other
पूरी
person.
वसुधा को, पूरी पृथ्वी को एक
But those who are
परिवार समझता है,
broad-minded, they consider the whole world as
ये
their
जो है हमारी
family.
वैदिक संस्कृति के पूरी
This is the Vedic
शुरुआत है,
culture. that the whole world is a family. And what is the modern mentality? That the whole world is a marketplace. Every person is trying to sell something. Today, every person is trying to sell something. Everybody is trying to sell himself also. Why are we taking education? So that when we become educated, we will write a CV and we will sell ourselves. What are our capabilities so that somebody can purchase us? That means a human being has also become a product. Then, how is it possible to derive peace, happiness in such a society? Meaning, a living being is also being considered as an as inert matter. If you get a job in some company also, you are working under some machines only. Like now you have this artificial intelligence, so you don't see human being. You will not see human being anywhere. So the Chetan Padartha, living being, is becoming slave of inert matter. Then where is the question of independence? I saw a small interview where a great scientist is telling that this AI is so dangerous that it will destroy the whole humanity one day. He says that people are not understanding this. It will destroy the whole humanity one day. So this is our progress. That is why here Bhagavan is giving us a simple formula here how to live. That whatever action you perform, activity you perform, what you have to do, you just have to change your mentality. Bhagavan will not take anything from you. You do your business or agriculture or you are a teacher or whatever you do, you change your mentality in that. That whatever I am doing, I am doing this for Bhagavan, for Yajna. So then you will not fall into bondage because this disease that you have, that of Vaimukhya, being turned away from Bhagavan, that disease will go away. So this is what Bhagavan is teaching here. So if you have Sakam Bhav, actually if we work with Nishkam Bhav, that is best. But that will not happen so easily. Our attachment to the fruit is so deep that when if we come on the spiritual path, then there also we are always behind fruit only. Although spirituality begins only when you give up your attachment to the fruit. Like here Bhagavan is telling that you work with detachment. So here the spiritualists, they also want very quick result by shortcut. Like nowadays, if somebody has a disease, why people don't want to get into Ayurveda? Because Ayurveda takes time in treating the disease. Although it is not like that, but this is what people think because the modern medicine gives immediately, it gives an injection and reduces your pain. Similarly, in spirituality also, nowadays people, the the new age gurus, why they are so popular? Why people do not go to the traditional gurus? Because if you go to a traditional guru, he will say study shastra, practice properly, follow these rules, and you after a long time you will see the result. If you go to new age gurus, he will tell do this pranayam or do that, immediately you will start feeling something, then you start thinking yes, this is right. So we have so much attachment to the fruit that immediately we want something. If we come to the spiritual path also, immediately we want something. And then these new age gurus, they start exploiting you because that is not spirituality actually. Spirituality means, as I said, it is from turning to from Vaimukhyata to going to Samukhyata. So new age gurus won't even talk about that. They don't talk about Shastra, Bhagavan, etc. They speak of inner engineering or some other thing. It will have some impact on the society. Mind will become peaceful because human being is disturbed. So then he starts thinking, yes, this is good. So this is basically nothing but being focused on the result. That's why they look for shortcuts. So, but here Bhagavan is telling that if you want the real solution to all your problems, then you have to give up attachment. And this is very difficult because we don't have experience of this, how to live with detachment. In spiritual path, if we get little bit of problem, then we start giving up the spiritual path.
तो फिर उसमें रुचि नहीं।
So we do not have interest in that. But same person, when he is into business, then how much he is absorbed in his business,
कष्ट उठाकर वो सब वो तपस्या सह लेता है वहां पर,
how much trouble he tolerates
मेरे को ये वाला फल मिल जाए,
in that business, because he thinks that I will give this result, although there is no guarantee of the result.
वो अनित्य होगा,
And even if you get that, it will be temporary. It will be for short period. Then the government will change the rule.
उससे कोई बढ़िया प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में आ जाएगा।
If you are making some product, then there will be some new product in the market. So that is why
जो हम कर्म करते हैं,
whatever karma we do should be for yajna,
वो
and the real yajna is the yajna of ourself, our own ahankara, offering our own ahankara itself. This is the real yajna.
जोशिका बोलती रहती है,
This is the what Joshika ji keeps speaking about.
वो है मैं
So
अपने
the
अहंकार
real offering is the offering of ahankara,
में समर्पित कर,
to offer it in the lotus feet of Bhagavan. That's why at the end, Bhagavan says,
ये असली यज्ञ है,
Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, which is the real yajna. But then you have to make some beginning. Like in yoga,
अष्टांग योग है,
actually, what the Ashtanga Yoga,
तीन भाग हैं,
the last three angas of Ashtanga Yoga, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, that is actually yoga. The five angas before that, these are just external, just preparatory.
आपको स्थूल रूप से आसन करो, प्राणायाम करो,
But in the gross way, you have to start with something like asana, pranayam, etc. But actually, you have to come to the level of mind that he told in the beginning only.
वास्तव में योग तो चित्त वृत्तियों का
Actually, yoga is the nirodha of chitta vritti. So where is asana and pranayam in that? But then if you just tell directly, start doing nirodha of chitta vritti, then you won't even understand that. That's why first you start doing physical exercise.
पादांगुष्ठ आसन कीजिए,
Start doing asana.
आसन करो, वृश्चिक आसन, तो ये सब तोड़ो मोड़ो, तो ये शरणागति की तरफ आपको ले जा रहे हैं, अंत में आपको लाना है।
So these are all taking you ultimately to Sharanagati. Ultimately, you have to come to the Sharanagati of Bhagavan only. So Yajna is this only.
ऋषि लोग थे वो मनुष्य की
Our rishis, they understood the mentality of human being,
आसान काम नहीं है, वो करेगा
that it is not easy to bring human being to surrender because he is vimukha. So then start from far distance so that the person doesn't even understand that actually I am being taken to Sharanagati. So start with some asana pranayam, then he will have good health. Then only he will do all that. That is why there is description of so many sakama yagyas in Shastra. Then later the real yajna will be explained, that is offering of your own ahankara, taking shelter of Bhagavan. So this is the real meaning,
अपनी वैमुख्यता को छोड़कर
that you give up your
कैसे आएंगे,
vaimukhyata and come to samukhyata.
ऐसे योग का भी
This is the real ultimate, this is the culmination of yajna. So yoga also means that,
लेकिन वो
connecting with Bhagavan. But human being will not listen to all that. First of all, don't even talk about Bhagavan. Don't,
ईश्वर पे बात भी करनी है तो ईश्वर
don't talk about God.
उसको भी एक विकल्प बना दिया योग में।
In yoga, Ishwar is also made a vikalpa, an option. In the first chapter, Ishwar is just a vikalpa, an option that you can do dhyana of this or that, or as an option on Ishwar also. But if you go to second chapter, then Ishwar Pranidhan is compulsory there.
ईश्वर परिनिधान, क्रिया योग और अष्टांग योग दोनों में ईश्वर परिनिधान जो
In
है
Kriya Yoga, in Ashtanga Yoga, Ishwar Pranidhan is a compulsory anga.
धीरे धीरे ला रहे हैं पतंजलि जी,
So Patanjali is also slowly bringing human being to that level. Similarly, here also Bhagavan speaks of yajna, that you know that you will not fold your hands before Bhagavan. So first you do yajna to Agni.
तो अनेक प्रकार के यज्ञ ले आएंगे।
Then as Bhagavad Gita progresses, Bhagavan will start speaking of different yajnas.
ज्ञान में समाप्त होगा। फिर वो कहेंगे इसको जानने के लिए तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन
Then he will say
सेव्यते ज्ञानम ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः। गुरु के पास जाके
that you have to understand this, you have to go to Guru. So there he brings you to Pranipat, surrender.
बेचारे बहुत मेहनत करते हैं
So Bhagavan is working very hard in Bhagavad Gita to do benefit to human being, but human being is so cunning, so intelligent that he tries to find some escape route,
की बात को नहीं मानना।
how to not listen to Bhagavan.
ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण श्लोक
So this is very important verse, and
इसको समझना आवश्यक है।
understanding this verse is extremely important.
जैसे मैंने कहा कि बहुत ही
As I said, Bhagavad Gita is gives a very practical knowledge.
कला हमको सिखाती है।
It teaches us how to live in the society, in the family,
इसमें कोई पैसा वैसा खर्च होने वाला
and
नहीं
you
है।
don't have to spend anything for this.
कुछ टैक्स देना
No need to become afraid
या आपको कुछ हानि हो जाएगी। केवल यज्ञार्थ
that there will be some loss for you.
यज्ञ करते थे, आज यज्ञ करने की प्रथा समाप्त हो गई है, तो इसलिए आप
Earlier people used to do yajna.
कहते हैं ना अनेक
Now the yajna system has stopped.
विद्यार्थी पढ़ता है वो भी यज्ञ है।
So Bhagavan is explaining many yajnas in Gita. For a student studying is yajna. In Upanishad it is said that even procreating is also yajna.
ये वृष्टि होती है, ये भी एक यज्ञ है।
Procreation is also yajna. Everything is being explained as yajna in the Upanishads, so that in this life we understand the essence
जीवन भी एक प्रकार का यज्ञ
that our life is ultimately a yajna.
है। हमारी दृष्टि जो संसार का मूल केंद्र है, भगवान है, उनकी तरफ
And we can turn our vision to the center of this world, that is Bhagavan. Only then there can be peace, happiness, prosperity in the society. So we will stop here for today. If you have any question, you can ask.
धन्यवाद बाबा जी, बहुत अच्छा है। ये जो आपने अहंकार की आहुति बोला था,
Question, you explained about this offering of ahankara.
छोटी बुद्धि से समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ इसको स्पष्ट।
So like what I'm trying to understand, I request you to explain that.
प्रकृति, ये जो हमारा शरीर है, तो इसकी एक तो ये है कि मैं ये शरीर नहीं हूँ, इस प्रकार की आहुति है, या एक तो ये आहुति,
ये आपका जो कर्तृत्व है ना, आप जो भी कर रहे
What is the offering of our ahankara? So answer, the offering is the sense of doership. We understand ourselves as doer, and then we want to enjoy the fruit of the karma.
उसको समझना कि मैं
So we have to understand that me, my body, my ahankara, my mind, my intelligence, they all belong to the prakriti of Bhagavan. So they are meant for him only.
उनसे स्वतंत्र ना
So I should not consider myself independent from him.
हाँ, मैं इसको
This is offering.
समझना, अपनी बुद्धि से ऐसे समझने की कोशिश कर रहा था कि पंचभूत से लेकर के अहंकार तक सब तो प्रकृति ही है।
लेकिन आप तो उसको अपना आप समझे हुए हो, नहीं समझे हुए?
So you are considering this ahankara panchabhut to be yours. Do you feel like that this is prakriti? You think that I am myself this body. So you have to understand this body belongs to nature, the material nature. It is Bhagavan's material nature. It is not myself. So when it belongs to him, then it should be engaged in his service only. Any object that belongs to some person, like if you go to office and they give you a computer, so the computer is being given for the service of the company, not for your personal work. So if it is being given to you, you have to do it for him only. But if you take that computer, bring it home, and then use it for your purpose, then you may be laid off. If some clerk is working in a bank, then he is dealing with so much money, but that money belongs not to him but to the bank. But he protects that money. It's not that he gives to anybody, that anyway it is of bank, give it to anybody. So he keeps the complete accounts of that money. Now if he starts thinking that this is my money, so similarly this body, it belongs to the material nature. a part of material nature. We all understand this, and at the end, it will
प्रकृति भगवान
get into the material nature only. And this material nature belongs to Bhagavan.
मत्त सर्वं प्रवर्तते भूमिरापो अनलो वायु खम्मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इति में भिन्ना प्रकृति रसदा अहंकार को भी बता रहे हैं ना प्रकृति तो जब ये
So
उनकी
Bhagavan
है
is
तो
telling that this ahankara is also Prakriti. So then ahankara should be engaged in seva of Bhagavan. So you should understand that I belong to Bhagavan.
तंत्र समझता हूँ और भगवान
Now I consider myself independent. Who is Bhagavan?
कहते हैं अगर भगवान कहीं मिल जाए तो मैं तो उसको गोली मार दूंगा
Some people say that if I see Bhagavan, I will shoot him. What is Bhagavan? People speak like this.
साथ में ये वाली जो सूक्ष्म बात आती है कि जीवेरे स्वरूप है नित्य कृष्ण दास, अगर हम आत्मा के लेवल पे आ गया ये है ना,
तो स्वरूप की बात कर रहे हैं।
यूट्यूब से एक प्रश्न है कि क्या एक व्यक्ति जो
Question:
गृहस्थ आश्रम में है,
A person who is in Grihastha ashram
परिवार का एक ऐसा सदस्य है जो
and such a member of the family who is earning money
निषिद्ध भोजन उपलब्ध करा रहा है, तो क्या वह
and he
उसका
is giving forbidden
कर्म
food
होगा या
to the
सामूहिक कर्म?
members of the family, then who will get the karma? So the one who is supplying that food, he will also get karma. One who is consuming that will also incur karma. Next question: is brahmacharya important? Answer:
गृहस्थ के लिए तो ब्रह्मचर्य की व्याख्या अलग है कि अगर अपनी
so
पत्नी के
brahmacharya
साथ
is important for sannyas, but for a grihastha its meaning is different. If he is engaging only with wife, then that is also brahmacharya. But if he is engaging with some
ब्रह्मचर्य
other woman other than his wife, then he is breaking brahmacharya.
प्रश्न है, राधे राधे बाबाजी महाराज। बाबाजी,
Next
कोई भी
question:
व्यक्ति कोई कार्य किसी मोटिवेशन से करता है,
any person he performs action with some motivation. If we are doing bhakti also, but I don't know about others, but my bhava is that I should get darshan of Bhagavan in this
बाबाजी बिना मोटिवेशन के
Janmashtami itself.
हमेशा
So
डिटर्मिनेशन
without motivation,
में गोल
how
को
can
अचीव कर सकते हैं?
somebody perform some action with determination to achieve goal?
गोल
So
को
answer:
का कारण यही है, इसके पीछे
the purpose of achieving goal, what you are saying that I should get darshan of Bhagavan,
स्वतंत्र समझ रहे हैं
because you are considering yourself independent from Bhagavan and you are thinking that when I will get darshan of Bhagavan, I will get this benefit. There you have this bhava inside you that I will get this benefit. People will praise me or whatever. Even if you don't see it in manifest way, but in unmanifest way, these feelings are there inside.
भगवान से स्वतंत्र
But when you understand that I am not independent from Bhagavan, I am Angsha of Bhagavan and my life is for Him only, then I just act for Him.
भगवान का दर्शन भी चाहते हैं तो इसमें भी आपका
So
अपना
if
ही
you
स्वार्थ
desire for getting darshan of Bhagavan also, this in this it is your own selfishness only. You get darshan of Bhagavan. What did Bhagavan achieve by that?
आप तो अपने लिए ही
Is
कर
there
रहे
any
हैं,
benefit to Bhagavan? No,
आपकी
you are doing all that for your own benefit.
सुन लिया
Like you desire liberation.
ठीक नहीं है
So we in bhakti we have heard so many times that bhakti is better than moksha, and desiring moksha is also a selfishness. So we don't do that. But that same desire we bring in another way in bhakti.
मेरे को याद है बहुत साल पहले
Many years back,
25-30
I
वर्ष
remember
पहले
around 25-30 years back, there was a guru.
का एक जन्मदिन था वो
So
मेरे
it
कमरे
was his birthday and he came to my room.
जन्म था तो कह रहे थे प्लीज ब्लेस मी दैट आई डोंट हैव टू टेक बर्थ अगेन
So he requested me, please bless me so that I don't have to take birth again.
वैष्णव गुरु बोल रहा है
Now a Vaishnava guru is speaking like this.
फिर उनमें भक्ति की भावना कहाँ आई
Then where is the desire for bhakti in him? Because he is speaking about moksha. But if you say to him, but he is that same person will also say that our goal is not moksha. So that same desire for moksha comes in different way in bhakti.
काम करना इन्होंने कहा है कहीं
So as it was explained here that you should work for yajna.
काम करना है आपको मोक्ष के लिए
Is it explained in this verse that you should work for moksha, darshan and all that? No. Those things will happen automatically.
मुक्त संग होंगे तो आपका मोक्ष पक्का है वो मुक्त संग में
Your moksha will moksha is already included in that.
मतलब है कि आप यहाँ ठीक से काम करेंगे
Samachara means if you are working here with proper understanding of yajna.
सधर्म ठीक है ना कि जिससे आपका अभ्युदय भी हो और निश्रेयस भी हो यानी कि भौतिक उन्नति भी हो और आपको मोक्ष की भी प्राप्ति हो, वो धर्म है। ऐसी
So
व्याख्या
dharma
होगी
is
कि
what gives you material progress and liberation also. So for Mukta Sangha and Samachara, Bhagavan is telling of both. Mukta Sangha is moksha and Samachara is abhyudaya. When it will happen? When you work for yajna. You are not working for moksha or for material progress. You are working for yogya, for yajna, but material progress and liberation will come up automatically. But people don't understand this. So like this, there are many people, they ask me that in this life I want to go to Goloka, I want this in this life itself, I want to obtain this Swarupa and that. But these are your personal selfish desires. Where is Bhagavan in all this? So if you do this, Bhagavan will give you. Then don't think that this is Preeti for Bhagavan. That's why what did Jiva Goswami say? What is our prayojan? Preeti. Prema Pumartha Mahan. And Preeti means Anukulyan Anushilan. So this is the difference between Vaimukhya and Samukhya. Why does Jiva Goswami say that Mukti is not our prayojan? This is not our Purushartha. Because actually in that is just negation of Vaimukhyata, although not real Samukhyata.
जैसे दुखा भाव को लोग सुख मान लेते हैं,
Like people consider Dukha Bhava as Sukha, it is like that.
वास्तविक सामुख्यता तो
Real Samukhyata is in Preeti only.
इसलिए भगवान कहते हैं मन मना.
That's why Bhagavan says Man Mana Bhava Mad Bhakto.
गुस्तावो जी का प्रश्न है,
Next
एक
question.
मन जो गलत कार्य
What can be done about a mind that keeps reinforcing a bad action?
इसको पूछिए कि क्यों प्रेरित हो रहा है, इसके पीछे क्या कारण है, इसका परिणाम क्या होगा.
So you have to deliberate what will be its result by doing all this bad action. Everywhere you do everything, when you do everything for good result, when mind, why are you not thinking like that here? Why do people perform bad action? They know that this action is bad,
लेकिन उससे कुछ तात्कालिक फल मिलता है,
but it will give some temporary benefit to them, immediate benefit.
उसके कारण करता है. वो सोचता है कि इससे मेरे
For
को तुरंत
that reason he does such action. So he thinks that I will get some benefit out of this. For this reason, human being steals also. So Freud said that if you suppress your desires, it will arise again in some perverted manner and it will distort your personality, your psychology. You will have psychological problem. That's why he said that do not suppress your desires.
उनको रिप्रेस मत करो, दमन मत करो. लेकिन दमन नहीं करेंगे तो उससे दूसरी समस्या खड़ी होगी. तो जब आप
So if we do not suppress, then again there will be some other problem. Let's say you have a wrong desire and Freud says that do not suppress it.
तो आप दूसरी इच्छा का तो दमन कर रहे नहीं कर रहे.
But anyway you are suppressing some other desire.
ये गलत है.
You know that it is wrong.
नहीं दूसरा कार्य करना ठीक है.
Meaning doing the other activity is right. So you are suppressing that or no? So then Freud did not consider this point.
जो भी व्यक्ति गलत कार्य करता है वो जानता है गलत है.
Any person who is doing something wrong,
दूसरी इच्छा का दमन कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है.
he is suppressing the other desire or no?
ठीक काम करना चाहिए, अरे मैं गलत काम कर रहा हूँ.
That I should do the right activity and this is what I'm doing is wrong. So the human being who is intentionally doing wrong activity, he is also suppressing the other desire. So when you anyway have to suppress the desire, why don't you suppress the wrong desire? Why are you suppressing the right desire? Because anyway at the end it will lead to wrong result for you. That's why Shastra is teaching this. Actually you don't have to suppress also. Why do you suppress the right desires? When you understand that by doing the wrong action, it will lead to wrong result. Everybody knows that stealing is wrong, lying is wrong, troubling others is wrong. Everybody knows. There is no Shastra Upadesh required for this. But still people knowingly do wrong actions. So there will be bondage or no?
अगर हम अपने आप को नियंत्रण में रखते हैं कि नहीं, ये अपनी बुद्धि से उसको
So
समझना
if we
होगा,
know this,
तो जब हम गलत
we have to understand this by our intelligence. When we are doing some wrong action, we are disobeying our intelligence.
निर्बल हो जाती है,
Then our intelligence becomes weak.
और जब बुद्धि निर्बल हो जाती है तो हम अपनी मन
And when intelligence becomes weak, we come under the control of our mind and senses. Then we cannot stop ourselves.
की आदत पड़ गई है, इसका मतलब उन्होंने
So
अपनी बुद्धि
those
का आदर नहीं किया,
who have become used to doing wrong action, they never respected their intelligence. Now their intelligence has become so weak that their mind has become their boss. And in Gita, Bhagavan says that mind is your friend also and enemy also.
के नियंत्रण में है तो मन आपका
When you are under the control of mind,
तो मन आपका मित्र,
then mind is your enemy. When you are controlling the mind, then mind is your friend.
अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तते आत्मा एव शत्रुवत्। जो अनात्मा, जिसकी मन जिसके नियंत्रण में नहीं है, वही मन उसका सबसे बड़ा शत्रु है। शत्रु
When
बाहर
mind
नहीं
is
है,
not under control, that itself is the biggest enemy. There is no enemy outside. The biggest enemy is inside.
शत्रु बाहर है वो तो दिखाई पड़ेगा आपको कि
The enemy which is outside is not the real enemy. Real enemy is the one who is in your home only, disguised as your friend.
तो उसने तो आपकी बिल्कुल राजधानी के ऊपर कंट्रोल कर लिया।
So then that mind is controlling your own life, your center only.
मनुष्य की है,
This is the situation of human being.
आदर करना चाहिए।
So we should learn to respect our intelligence.
नहीं करेंगे
When you start disrespecting your intelligence, you will suffer. This is guarantee.
दूसरे अध्याय में कहा बुद्धिया युक्त है,
That's why in second chapter Bhagavan said
कि जब आप अपनी बुद्धि से युक्त होकर काम करेंगे तो आप
that when you work with intelligence,
अगर हम अपनी
then you will be able to cross the bondage of karma. But when we don't stop respecting our intelligence, then whose intelligence will respect?
बुद्धि में हूँ,
Bhagavan says that I am buddhi. That means when you are disrespecting your intelligence, you are disrespecting Bhagavan also,
और अपने
and you will have to suffer,
आप स्वयं करते ही हैं,
and you can experience this in your own life.
तो इसलिए आवश्यक है।
So this is important to respect intelligence.
यूट्यूब से एक प्रश्न है, यद्यपि
Next
बच्चे
question.
भक्ति साधन के बारे में जन्म से ही जान रहे हैं,
Although children are learning about the bhakti sadhan from childhood, how can we guide them when after studies they are trying to get job, their sadhana is not very strong? How to make their sadhana strong? So answer, after studying, society is such that you have to go for a job, so you should search for a job which is according to your swabhava. This is very important.
क्योंकि भगवान आगे भी इसी अध्याय में कहेंगे कि प्रकृति के अनुसार मनुष्य चलता है, प्रकृति में यान्ति भूतानि।
Bhagavan says that human being works according to his nature.
ज्ञानवान अपि, तो इसलिए उनका जो स्वभाव है,
So whatever is his swabhava, according to that only you should get the education, and according to that only you should work.
का मन जो है वो बैलेंस रहेगा।
Then the mind will remain balanced.
वो आपका स्वभाव टेस्ट करने के लिए
We have made a swabhava test. You can
आपको सहायता मिलेगी।
take that test on the Vedic psychology website,
अगर आपको नौकरी मिलती है स्वभाव के अनुसार,
and then according to that, if you are getting the job, then it will be good for you.
वो साधना में लगेगा, साधना के लिए
Then
समय
your
लगेगा आपको।
mind will
आप ऐसे
do
नौकरी करते
engage in sadhana.
स्वभाव के विरुद्ध है तो आप मन
And if you do a job which is against your swabhava, then your mind will be disturbed.
प्रश्न है, बाबा जी महाराज, क्या ऐसा बोलना सही
Next
होगा
question,
कि भक्ति
is it right to say that yajna is the real swarup of bhakti?
बोलना सही होगा कि यज्ञ का असली स्वरूप भक्ति है।
No, actually it is right to say that the real swarup of yajna is bhakti.
लोग लगाते हैं, लेकिन जिसका असली
As I said, people give different meanings of yajna, but the real meaning of yajna ultimately is bhakti.
ठीक है, ठीक है। प्रार्थना श्लोक। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयः स्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् यत्र योगेश्वरो कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीविजयोर्भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजंघ्रये। भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो। नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपापप्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम्। हरि ओम तत्सत्।